Hey guys, welcome back to Buried Lumber. Matthew and I appreciate you tuning in. You seen Matthew load that log. We're still doing it the way we were before, most of the time loading it with a tractor, most all the time. Today we're going to do our second major modification, and it'll be our third improvement on the sawmill. The first major modification was building our dust collection chute, and then the improvement was WoodMizer sent out some resistors. It comes with one for each computer, and their electrical engineer thought fitting two on it would fix the problem, and he was correct. It fixed it. We're tickled to death with it. Now, the issue we're having currently, Matthew, show you this pile of sawdust. This is how much sawdust has fallen off the mill, and we push it over here and we clean it up. Normally that's what, 2 weeks worth at least?
At
least 2 weeks worth of sawdust, and that's less than a week's worth of sawing. So we're having an issue with our vacuum system not catching all the sawdust, and it's partly because of these high-speed blade guides. They hit, but the other problem is the dust chute is a little short here, and we've
gotta cut the top.
Got a piece of tape on it. The dust chute stops a little short, and it allows a lot of sawdust to go under it. We've got a proof of concept piece of sheet metal we taped on there yesterday, and if we collected 100% before we put that on there, we were probably collecting what, 70, 75 at the most. And with this, just this little simple modification, I think we upped it into the mid-90s, and we'll show some video evidence of that here shortly as we get into this. But I can't do it today. We got plenty of sawing to do, but we're going to transition this from sheet metal to 1/8" plate, make something that can be bolted under there and then taken off if need be, to be able to collect that sawdust, because we don't like cleaning up the floor. We were sawing yesterday, and I had the floor clean, sawed a log, and there's what, half a wheelbarrow load of sawdust that didn't get sucked up through the vacuum system. And it wasn't because of lack of vacuum. When it come across the blade, it was going under. So we've extended the suction port, and we're going to tip it down a little bit to catch more of that when it comes across, because we don't want to clean the floor up once a week. You know, it'd be nice, you know, once a week, all the bark that falls off and a little bit of sawdust, we'll bring the box over here and clean it up. But this is almost a daily cleanup, and that defeats the whole purpose of having our vacuum system. So what we're going to do, we're going to film some video of us sawing this log with our proof of concept on there, and then at some point I'll take it back off and we'll film a log sawing without it on there, and you'll see the incredible difference. And as soon as I get a chance, we'll make a good paper template for it. We'll go over and make something and put it on there. Hopefully I'll fix it. So thanks for tuning in. Let's get to work.
Got a big bow off the bottom.
Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that. We just sawed through this little white oak log. Wasn't that good a log, but we was trying to make some 1/8 by 7 for hardwood flooring. But the purpose of it was to show you the floor. And there's a little sawdust out of the mill. You're never gonna be able to get rid of all that. But this is what's on the floor. Just burn enough for me to get a footprint. What we want is when we get done with the log, we can go just like that, and the floor is clean. Because Matthew and I don't like to walk that crap. It's a safety hazard, trip hazard, whatever, slip hazard. That is tremendous. Now, the next clip, won't do it right this second. We'll do, because we gotta get some sawing done. We'll take that guard chute that we made off, saw a log, and show you how much is hitting the floor, and then we'll prototype one. So we'll be back in just a little bit. Ready, prototype. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that. The whole purpose was to show you what the difference in the sawdust on the floor was. And you can see it's all the way blown up under here. It's blown all the way over to here. We was only sawing 8-foot logs. We went from a dusted to a lot. Now, Matthew showed you our little piece of tin there we had. This is just something we fabbed up real quick to tape on there for a proof of concept. And proof of concept is that it works. So, we can't do it today. You can see we got all this wood. We've got to get this done. Big old pile of flinches over there we got the edge. But the next part of this video, I'll try to film it. We'll get some good cardboard. We'll come over here and start cutting this out, some templates, and tape them together, just like we did with this dust chute. So, yeah, I'll be sending this to WoodMizer. Hey guys, this is something you might ought to look at selling. I want to make it to where it's easily bolted on, 2 or 3 bolts, and it's easily unbolted, so that if for some reason it's in the way of some particular cut that we're making one day, we can easily unbolt it. But I'm putting it, that high-speed blade guide, this one run past it. We're going to stop it right at the high-speed blade guide. So technically, if the blade guide misses, the chute we're going to make will miss. So anything else on that, Matthew? It's nothing but metal, people. The unfortunate part is we'll probably have to drill a hole or two in our WoodMizer to bolt it. But other than that, we're not defacing anything. We're not debagging it. We're making it better, because I'm not going to put up with this crap, you know. But we got a vacuum system with a monstrous pile out there. Okay, let's try it again. GoPro went, whoop, popped out. So we're not going to put up with this mess, because we spent time, money, effort in the vacuum system, and it goes out here in a nice big pile. You can see it's 10, 11 foot tall. I didn't get the video yesterday. Henry worked part of the day with us, and he come back in the afternoon. I called his mama after lunch. I said, Henry come back? She said, no, he's got work to do. I said, well, send him down here and I'll pay him. So him and one of his sisters come back, and I didn't get the video, but jumped off the bank right into that sawdust pile. They come in covered head to toe. They love it when we got a big pile. So enough talking. We'll be back when we're ready to move forward with this, so hang on. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, welcome back. I got a lot done without you. I've got a cardboard template here. There's some weird geometric shapes I'm trying to come out and spread apart, as well as go down at the same time. So to accomplish all that, as well as some of my anchor points, I've had to make a lot of small pieces that we're going to turn into one big piece once it's all welded together. Tape's holding good. Now, this is pretty much what I've come up with. This is going to be our ramp, and it will be, I'll be able to bolt it here, as well as I get bolt under there, maybe one at the bottom, and I'm wanting the front of it to nose down a little bit. Now, that's the beauty of a cardboard template. You can see it's got a little ramp to the nose of it. So that's the shape I want. Now I want to take a minute and take some real hard measurements and write them down on a piece of paper and try to transfer this from a piece of cardboard taped together to a piece of steel all welded together and formed the way we want it to. You watched the test we did yesterday, and I put our piece back on there this morning. We saw some big monstrous white pines. What little bit hit the floor was minimal, and it won't collect near what this piece is going to collect once it's formed and put on there. So, whew. Next stop, we'll be over to the shop cutting up some metal. But like I say, I'm going to get a piece of paper out and take some real precise measurements, and then we'll go from there. So give me a minute, we'll be back. Okay guys, welcome back. We're over in the other shop. Got a couple pieces of steel picked out here. Got my first pattern laid out to save warping all the material. I'm just going to cut it with a grinding wheel. It'll introduce a lot less heat and give me a lot more precision line. It's gonna take a little while. Be fitting and trying and walking over there and make sure everything attaches like I want it to, but it's just a process. This is start one. This is where we got to go through. So let's get this whittled down to a reasonable size, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, I don't know if we got much of that. Looked at the GoPro, it was turned off. But we got our first piece made. This is the main part of the bottom of it, and I'm gonna need to introduce a bend right here. Probably go ahead and add this piece to it, and I'm gonna introduce a bend, and that's gonna help with the sawdust collection. So let me round up my next piece here that we need, and we'll go from there. Okay, guys, so I got the floor plan of the floor pan of our dust collection done. Went and did a test fit. I was happy with it. We're moving on to the second piece, and it's going to attach right here. And I've transferred that to this piece of metal. We're going to cut it out and move on one little step at a time. Yeah. Okay, there's our next little piece cut out, and goes without saying, it's a little hot. I'm gonna go over here to the grinder and clean it up just a little bit. Okay, there's our next little piece of the puzzle. Now it's got to get a bend in it. Right there. Not much it was, a little bit of bend. Hey, just a little bit more. There we go. Now, comes the fun part. I gotta get it attached to there. And what I'm going to end up doing, there'll be a wall right here. Comes out, and that's going to, I've opened it up and dropped it down to allow more dust, sawdust, to get caught in the box. There we go. Let's see if I can get it to stitch together now. Okay, I don't know what happened. GoPro turned off on me. This is where we're at so far. We got this side, the wood side, finished. This is the operator side. We got to finish up. I just went and did a recheck, make sure everything looked good. Need to trim these off just a little bit to go right there. Get these mounted and a little flange here. Drill, tap some holes. We'll have a dust chute. And I know it seems like a lot of work, but this is work you do one time and hopefully you reap the benefits for many, many years. Anything we can do to keep from picking more sawdust off the floor, up off the floor, is a win-win in our case. So might have to round up one more piece of metal. I'm running a couple little strips short, but we can make something work. So let me get to it. Now comes the fun part. We gotta get this attached. Phew. Gotta get that in ground down. The battery's about dead, so give me just a few minutes, I'll be back. Okay guys, sorry about that. Somewhere there, the GoPro cut off. Just walked back from the other shop, went and checked our dust tray, and it fits perfectly for what I'm expecting. My intention is to put 2 bolt holes here, one here, and there'll be one here that goes through the machine. And I left provisions for one more right here, but it goes up into a blind 2x2 tube. So if I put this one in, I'll have to drill and tap it, but we'll wait to see if that needs to happen. What I'm gonna do now is drill these holes out for some 3/8 carriage bolts, spray a little paint on it, and call it quit, because it's late on a Saturday night. And I need to be doing other things, but this needs to be done too. So I'll get over here on the drill press and we'll knock some holes in it. There we go. Now, let's drill these out to the 3/8 bolt, maybe just a little bit bigger. Okay. Probably I'm gonna wait on that one. If I need to drill that one, I'd rather do it over there where I know exactly where it needs to go. That is it, guys. That fits right up under the tray. Your high-speed blade guide set right here. That should direct a whole lot more sawdust into the dust chute. Now, this is just a prototype. Maybe I caught WoodMizer into making these. It would definitely make your product a lot better, especially for us guys using a vacuum system. But, phew, like anything else, just takes time. I'm not afraid to try something new. All this cost me is some time, a few pieces of scrap metal, some MIG wire, and a little argon. So it's no big expense, but we did run a test. We showed you already in this video of just a little cheap piece of sheet metal, and it worked tremendously well. So I'm expecting this to perform even better than our little test piece we did. Throw a little bit of WoodMizer orange on here, which is actually Kubota orange, but it's pretty close. Okay, there it is, guys. One more project by Bearded Lumber. I know it's not sawmilling, but it's sawmilling related. Don't be afraid to try things, guys. You know, we hadn't burned anything on our mill. We hadn't drilled any holes. We're just attempting to make our dust collection system better. That's probably going to wrap it up for today. It's late Saturday afternoon. My wife and I are going out to dinner. It's Mother's Day tomorrow for us, so I hope you've will take the opportunity to talk to your mother if she's still available. You know, but yeah, take care of that, guys. We appreciate it. Let me get out of here, go get cleaned up, and we'll pick this back up Monday. Well, this will be good and dry. Matthew and I get it installed, and we'll run some tests on it and see how it does. Be back shortly. Oh, that was tough.
I don't know how you were able to bend it that far and it not snap. Okay? That's how far you were bending it.
Constant pressure.
Bolts and stuff for that?
In the box, sir. That spot must have got hot because of welding. Right there, close to it.
Must have.
It's harder. Same piece of metal, but
Oh, that would do it. It ripped off. It's a drill bit.
we'll get another one. Okay, guys, welcome back. It's Monday for Matthew and I. We're over here at our LT70. We've got our dust chute installed, roughly. We drilled the holes for it. I'm going to take it off. We're going to talk about it. Then we're going to mount it permanently. And we're going to put it to the test and see if it'll do as intended, saving us a lot of cleanup with sawdust. So let's go over here to the workbench and look at it. Okay, guys, we're over here on the workbench. We got our prototype and our finished product, and let's look at the the differences. Now, this is what we started with. This is a piece of 5-inch metal corner, or actually it's a rake for a roof. What I had laying out there. Matthew and I chopped it down, whittled it down to make it fit. And if you look, it's really not that far fetched, the difference, but it was just proof of concept that we could catch more sawdust, and we did. So in this finished version, we splayed out the left-hand side the way the machine's fixed, and we also splayed out the right-hand side. And why are we having to do this? Well, on the 35, 40s, 50s, you don't have high-speed blade guides. On the 70, we'll get Matthew to turn the camera around. This is, and get over here in position just a second. This is what they call a high-speed blade guide. It's a big old chunk of metal here. Your blade runs through it. This was not so much the problem as it is this one. Blade's running right through here, and the sawdust is hitting this blade guide and here, and you can literally see it just shooting off to the side and shooting off this way. Now with hopefully our dust collection here, we can collect a whole lot more of that because of this high-speed blade guide. Okay, now we run our test pattern, and it worked great. We went from a half a wheelbarrow load per log to just a little dusting on the floor. That's completely acceptable. We're gonna run a couple tests with this new piece and see what it does. And WoodMizer, if you're watching, and I know you are because I'm gonna send this to you, this is something you can build and offer on the next machine, guys. It's not that complicated a part, but it'll make dust collection so much better. And we're gonna prove it. As soon as we get it mounted, we're gonna saw a couple logs, and we'll see what the difference is. So let's put this back on. I got 3 screws. I actually made provisions for a 4th one over here, but it's rigid enough. I don't think we're gonna need it. But if we do, this one will just have to be drilled and tapped up into the frame, but no biggie. So let's mount this and move on. There you go. Had a nut on the bottom of it.
Good. I'm borrowing this last bolt just to make sure you get the right sizes.
Okay. This one over here we can cut off. What do you need? 3/8.
Yep. Long.
Okay guys, that's our first test. As you can see here, it kind of packed up a little bit, and I know why now. We sawed that poplar, and it got some sticks into the suction port here, and just that bark just falling apart. Get that out of there. We'll try it again. This keeps happening. Those little fingers won't be there no more. I didn't have them on my 35 for this very reason. We want that sawdust and little pieces of bark to go through there and go up the vacuum system without doing what it did, clogging this up. So let me get it blowed out. We're gonna run another test. This is the floor. I'm quite happy with the floor. That includes us stacking all these beautiful rainbow poplar flitches and blowing the sawdust off of them. So very acceptable result down there. Not so much over here in the collection area, but I'm gonna grab our hose and blow it out, and we're gonna do another test. Okay guys, welcome back. This is technically not a sawing video, but I hope you enjoyed watching us saw this monstrous rainbow poplar, 2.5 inches thick, anywhere from 22 to what, 27, 28 inch wide slabs. Matthew can show you the color real quick while we're talking about it. These are gorgeous. These look like money, people. And these 12 of them so far, and we got one more log to do. It's a little smaller, but it's the same tree, so I expect the same results. Yeah, it goes without saying, these are money makers. You're not going to sell a lot of them every day, but I've been meaning to get my inventory back up because we're currently out of anything north of inch and a quarter. We've just haven't had time to saw it. We've been sawing so much thin stuff. But this video was about our improvement on our vacuum system. This is what's on the floor. That includes us pulling the logs off, blowing the stuff off the top of the flitches before we stacked them, That's very acceptable. This over here in the floor where Vader's laying, it's 8-10 inches deep, and that's less than a week's worth of sawing. So we should see a drastic improvement. The one last thing I'm gonna do is the fingers that are in there. Sorry, WoodMizer, they're going away. I know why you put them in there, for safety, to keep people putting their hand in there or blade exiting there. We have an 1/8 inch steel plate in a horseshoe bend. Ain't no blade coming through there, and ain't no fingers going in there. It's just the little pieces of bark come off and they stick right against those fingers. You guys know, you've seen it. And in our application, we need to saw. I don't need to stop and clean that thing out because it's way down there and I'm sitting up here, and it's one more thing, Matthew, you don't have time to do. So we got something coming that we got to mount right there where that dust collection is. So when we take it off, those fingers are going to go bye-bye. So what did we learn? There can be improvements made on your WoodMizer. This is a drastic one. I will communicate with WoodMizer's R&D department and show them this video, show them our prototype, and see if it's something they'd be interested in, because this is a tremendous improvement over where we were at. I wouldn't say it needs to be on every mill. If you're shooting it out the dust chute, it really don't matter whether it hits the ground or comes out the dust chute. But if you're using a vacuum system or a conveyor system, you want every bit to go through that chute as possible, so where you can put it to where you want it to go. In our case, it's out in the pile. Now, if you're going to one of those dust chutes, you want it to hit in it, not in front of it or above it. So it may be something you see in the future, I hope, because it is definitely an improvement, and we're going to field test it every day for many years to come. Oh, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Big shout out to Matthew and Solomon doing our videos. Couldn't do it without them. If you get a chance, check out son-in-law's channel, Solomon, at Third Beard Fishing. I'm going to wring his neck if he keeps catching so many fish when we're nowhere around.
Yeah, he's catching tarpon now.
Yeah. Matthew and I went down there in, February? I caught 3 or 4 fish. You could call them fish.
Yeah.
And Matthew got skunked. And ever since we've come home, the sucker's been catching fish, 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 fish. Caught a 6-foot bull shark the other night. Yeah, I think he was hiding the best holes, wasn't taking us to him. My story, I'm sticking to it. But yeah, big shout out to Solomon. Get a chance, check out his channel. If you need swag, beardylumbernc.com. We got plenty of hats there for sale. It's been some interest. We'll see where it goes. We might expand upon that one day. Matthew and I like to wear good clean shirts. He's got one on today. All mine must be dirty. But as always, guys, I can't say enough about our partner in this, WoodMizer. They're an excellent company. If you watched our video a little while back about the troubles we had with this mill, man, they was right there with us step by step, getting it all sorted out, getting it lined out. Now, I mean, it wasn't no fun, I'll admit that, but their customer service made it as enjoyable as it could be, okay? I told them as a YouTuber, I ought to be happy. Content. As a business owner, not so much, because, you know, we was working through a problem instead of sawing, but we got there with their help. Big shout out to them. If you need anything from WoodMizer, contact Joe Maine. We get all our saw blades from him. Should have 3 boxes coming in the mail here next day or so, because we started out with a new LT70, so we had none. I got
3 boxes.
Yeah, I got 2. Picked up 2 while I was over there and picking up the mill, and got 1 from Joe. So we had those 3, and we've already broke 3 or 4 of those. Learning, hitting things, it happens. So we got 3 more coming from Joe this week. If you need anything, give him a shout. He can help you with blades, parts, equipment, whatever. If he can't help you, he can give you a phone number, somebody that's their expertise. His contact info will be in the description. Guys, as always, we appreciate each and every one of you watching. We'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.